souls. I am Valeria Maritza at Healing Through You. I am an infinite being of light, and so are you. Today, I want to talk to you about the separation. Oh my gosh, this has been so present lately in everything I do, everything I see, and everyone I speak with. It's pretty much incredible. What is the separation, you might think? The separation begins when you are born, pretty much, and you become separate from your mother. And then you are taught that you are an individual, a separate person, different from your parents, different from your siblings, different from other people, different from things, from animals, from everything, right? I mean, that makes sense. We live in a three-dimensional reality. So, yeah, that's what it is. But the issue is that when we begin to separate ourselves from each other, we begin to treat ourselves differently as well. And we also, this is part of the ego, and it is really, really put into our consciousness by our parents, by our teachers, by the elders, by the church leaders or religious leaders, I should say, that also are putting in more and more information about how separate you are, beginning with um, being separate from the divine, right? So if you are into any type of religious, it doesn't matter what denomination it is, you are taught that you are separate from the divine, from God, from the light, from, whomever the creator, right? And you are this minuscule little bit of almost nothingness that is very, very separate from the divine and the divinity, and that you must follow a certain rules in order to make the divine God happy. And that couldn't be further from the truth. And I know a lot of you are going to stop this right here and be like, okay, that's not for me. But hear me out, because God, the creator, the divine, is all loving, is all love. And this is where you came from. You came from the divinity. You came from all love, 100%. You were created with and by love. So that means that you are love. You have part of the divine in you, in your heart, is in you. And that makes you a divine being of light. Does that make sense? Let me know how this is filling in right now. What happens in the separation when we are taught that we're separate from the divine? We are taught that we are less than. We are also taught in all different denominations that our denomination, whichever one you were born into, that you are learning from, is somehow better than the others. It starts to exclude others who believe slightly different to the left, slightly different to the right. You begin to believe that you are following the best one, and therefore you must be better than others who are not following that. And even if you are following a specific denomination, you begin to make this judgment on those who don't follow the rules as good as you do, that some people don't show up as much, that some people don't um, follow the teachings that you are being taught altogether to um, the way that you are doing it, right? So you begin to judge, you begin to think and believe that those who are like you, who are following the faith that you are taught, the one that you're in, just like you, those must be better than the ones who are not. And that is a separation. It's a separation of saying, I'm better, you're not. It's a separation of believing that they're not doing as good as I am. They're not as worthy as me, perhaps, right? Yes, I'm going a little bit more deeper into what the separation does. But the truth is that not only are you one with the divine, with the creator, with light, with divinity, with whomever it is that you believe in, but you are also one with everyone else around you. And when we decide to put labels on others because they don't follow either a religion or or the way that we follow life the same way that we do, when they have a slightly different or even really far away opinion on things or the way they do things, we label them as being not as good as us, and therefore we're putting this negativity towards them, right? Some of us are even going to the extent of saying, like, I don't want to hang out with them because they're so different than me. They're the same as you. No, they're not. They're horrible. They're blah, blah, blah. I know. I can hear you. I can hear you. That's part of the separation. That's part of the ego telling you that you're separate, that you're different. We are all connected. We are all one. We all humans, even the ones who are doing the evil or really disrupt things that are hurting others, we are all part of the same collective. We are all created from the same divinity, from the same God, from the same light, from love. How are they acting out this way and I am not? Well, that is free choice, isn't it? But on the soul level, because here, once your soul comes and incarnates in your body, number one, you forget who you are. And number two, you begin to do things as if you're separate. The more separate that you feel from others, the more you're likely to do unto others those things that you wouldn't want them to be doing to yourself. I'm pausing here on purpose, right? So the more that you realize that everyone is the same as you and that we are all connected, the more likely we are to show compassion and love towards them, even if they are living their lives in a completely different way that we would not agree to in this life form. The more that we feel that we're separate and that that's them and this is me, the more we judge, the more we judge, the more we're sending negative energy towards them. Negative energy can just be a thought of thinking that they're not good enough or that they are not worthy of you wanting to be near them or getting to know them. That's a negative thought. That's negative energy being sent towards whomever this is, right? When we begin to realize that we're all one and we're all together in the same thing, we're all connected, we're all part of the same exact thing. Imagine yourself as each individual person being a drop of water that falls into the ocean. We're all the ocean, we're all part of the same. You can't say that part of the ocean's better than this part of the ocean. Okay, parts of the beaches, parts of the oceans are dirty and others are not. Some are deeper, some are shallower, some are clear, some are darker. It's all one ocean. It's all connected. And so are we. When you begin to really, really realize this part of how together we are and how connected we are, you begin to have love and compassion for everything and everyone. I'm going to give you an example here of how strong the energy of love is and how strong and how fast you can change things. I have several different ways of explaining this to you because I have had this in my life so many times, but I'm going to go with the first one. In-laws. If I say in-laws, your in-laws are coming to live with you. Most people cringe. For how long? How long can I stand it? How much can I live with them? How is this going to work out? Is fear. Why? Because they're different people that we didn't really choose to live with a lot of times, unless you're like in different countries where that's the culture that you're just living with your in-laws all the time. But that's not the case anymore, especially here in the Western side. People cringe about the fact and thinking that people are going to live with you. When I had my son, my in-laws came and lived with us for about 6 months. It was really, I'm not gonna lie, it was hell. We did not get along at all. We fought all the time. My husband and I almost divorced. Not that close, but like, yeah, that's the type of fights we were having. It was so incredibly difficult. Everyone I spoke to agreed with me, except for my husband, of course, and my in-laws. Why? Because whatever it is that you're looking for, you will find an answer. You will find people that agree with you. And then they left. But the situation between my husband and I was still dire. We were still not in a good place because there was so much resentment, so much anger, and so much discomfort between us that it was just not going away. And so after several months, I decided to change. Many, many months went by before I came to this conclusion. And what I decided to do was to see my in laws with love and compassion, to understand where they were at, and to send them love and compassion no matter what. And I started doing that. They were not even here. They were like, in their own place, country. And I started sending them love. I started seeing them with love. I started sending them all of my love from my heart, like really, truly seeing them, holding them in love. I started imagining what it would be like to be accepted and to be completely seen instead of judged from my point of view, separated and pushed away. And then what happened? They came back. And everyone who had heard my story before from the first time that my first experience with them here was cringing, and they would tell me like, oh my gosh, how are you going to do this, and like all kinds of things like that. Do you know what I mean? Trying to give me the support. And I very specifically decided that that's no longer the case. That's no longer the case. That's not going to happen. I am seeing what's going to happen. And what's going to happen is that now we're all going to get along because of the love that I am sending. And I'm seeing things differently. And that's exactly what happened.
Interesting question.
I'm so sorry about that. How does it get any better than that? I am trying to turn off my phone. And instead of succeeding at turning off my phone, Siri decided to speak up. So that's very funny. Okay, I'll continue on. So what happens is that they came back. Same in-laws, same home, same situation pretty much. We all got along. The way that they showed up was different than the way before. Or maybe it was the way I was seeing them. And maybe it's because I was seeing them differently with love and compassion, seeing them where they came from, accepting them, allowing them their space, and just sending that love, that they behaved differently towards me. Because they did. I was in complete awe. No one could believe it. How was I doing this? They couldn't believe it because they had heard my stories from the first time, from my first experience, and also mostly everybody that I spoke with had had the same type of experiences. And just by knowing, seeing, or hearing that they were going to be here living with me, all of their bad memories popped up in their minds, and that's why they were coming from. That's where they couldn't see it. They cannot see it. It's impossible to see it when you're coming from a place of separation. But let me tell you that we had a really, really amazing time. We all got along. It was great. It was amazing. And all along, I kept laughing to myself, quietly, of course, at the power that we have once we open up our hearts and we get to see them as part of us. And instead of sending them the hatred, the judgment, the anything that's negative, sending them love and acceptance and seeing them where they are. And it really, really does change the dynamics amongst people. And if I can do this with such a dire situation that I experience, if we all did this, how would the world change? If we all started seeing everyone on the world as part of us, as loving parts of us, how accepting we were, people will actually receive that, see that, feel that, and begin to act differently. I know this for a fact. You're saying, oh, that's just one situation, that's just one small scale. No, yes, this is one small scale example, but this is the power of love, is what I'm trying to tell you. The power of accepting and loving and seeing everyone as part of you, part of us. We're all one. I had the opportunity about a week ago to offer my healing services to someone who in turn said, we'd rather you pray for us. Separation. Separation right there. That's not good enough for me. This is the right way for me. I understand, completely fine. I am fine, but this is the separation when we begin to see parts of other people as different. There's no bad intentions, there's only good intentions. Why would anyone say no? It's because of the belief that what some of us are doing is better than others, when in fact, we're all the same. We're all the same. It's all good. If somebody offers to pray for me, yes. Somebody offers to send me energy, yes. What other forms are there? Yes. If your intention is to send me love and send me healing, yes, I accept it. Yes, I take it. Say yes with love and acceptance, without judgments. Judgment is the biggest separation. Wow, this was amazing, guys. Channeling here. This was actually Archangel. They're saying Michael and Raphael. Raphael is the healing energy. Michael taking down all boundaries of anyone listening, so that you are able to receive the healing, receive it. I want to challenge you to take someone, either in your small circle of life or outside, someone that you don't know, that you feel is doing something really um, against humanity. And I want to challenge you to see them, begin to see them with love and acceptance. Send them love, because your energy is that strong. And yes, it makes a difference. You may not see the results right away, but yes, it makes a difference. Oh, I have another sample. This is a really funny one. I was driving to New York all by myself one time to see my sister. It was a long trip. And in front, I was in one of those roads that is just like one car, you cannot pass anybody. All of a sudden, the person in front of me kind of like stopped in the middle. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, what is that? Like, why are they stopping right in the middle of the street? Like, like there's no stop sign, there's nothing. And like out of nowhere, right? If I wasn't paying attention, if I wasn't keeping my distance, I could have hit, rear ended them. And I'm sitting there patiently, and then I see somebody crossing. So somebody decided to cross the street in front of them, and then this person had to stop. And anyway, that's what happened. And I was like, okay, that's what happened. Okay, I understand. Keep going. But what happened is that the driver of the car in front of me saw that I was frustrated, right? That first frustration feeling, like, oh my gosh, why are you stopping in the middle of nowhere, right? And that person got triggered and began to make all kinds of signals, hand signals, through the rearview mirror. And I'm like, okay, like, dude, like, I wasn't meaning anything towards you. This was just, my own frustration at the situation, which I didn't understand what was happening. Then we stop at a red light, and what happens? It was a girl. She gets out of the car, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and gets out of the car and starts saying some not so nice words. But this is what happened. As we were driving, right before the we stopped at the red light, I realized, okay, this person is triggered for something. I didn't do anything. I wasn't sending them any energy. How can I change this? And of course, I went straight to love. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to send love. So I started sending love, and I believed. And I was like, yes, love has the power to change anything and everything. And then we stop at the light, and she gets out of the car, and I'm saying, love can change this. Love can change this. Love has the power. So I'm sending her love, sending her love. She gets out of the car, and I don't know why I felt like doing this, but I began to blow her kisses and smiling. And it completely disarmed her. Completely. She had this like anger and, all the gestures that we do when we're trying to make ourselves look bigger and scarier and stronger, right? I sent her kisses. I was sending her love. It disarmed her. She didn't know what to do. She received my love. She laughed, she giggled, and she got back in the car. Yes, this actually happened. It's a true story. And I was like, oh my goodness, this really does work. Try it. Try it. Try it. Try it. I guarantee that if you're really actually sending love from your heart, that it works. And it works that quickly. Okay. I love you so much. I hope that this has helped. Remember, you are one. You are one with everyone and everything. So be good, be kind, send love to anything and everything, especially yourself. Especially yourself. We are so critical of ourselves most of the times. Send love to you. Allow yourself to receive. Allow your heart to get bigger and expanded. And expand that love outwards towards anything and everything that you would like to help heal. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.